Welcome to Signature TV News. I am Charles Pius. First, the headlines. Anambra State government bars sand miners from site. Fubara swears in new caretaker committee chairman. On the foreign scene, South Africans seek transparency as Ramaphosa sworn in for second term. In sports, Mbappe suffers the break against Austria in France's opening group game of the tournament. Now the news in detail. It was a day of celebration of professional excellence, commitments to motherhood and distinguished career in public and community service as family and friends of Promise Okafor gathered to celebrate her 70th birthday milestone. The vibrant event, which took place on Tuesday in Enugu, was filled with shades of purple as family, friends and distinguished guests were present to honor a woman who has touched the lives of many. Correspondent Chinemere Mikebunam captured the thrills and ambience for Signature Television.
Attaining the age of 70 is a rare grace, especially in a society that is bedeviled by all manner of challenges. It is even more exciting when it is in good health and when surrounded by sons and daughters, both biological, extended, loved ones and well-wishers, as well as distinguished personalities from all walks of life. Dr. Promise Okafor, the eldest child of late Godwin and Bridget Abu of Enugu Ezike in Iweze North local government area of Enugu State, has built a notable career in nursing. Educated in prestigious universities in Nigeria and United States, Dr. Okafor has earned an enviable reputation for her dedication to the profession. Her commitment and resilience, both in her career as a mother figure to many, earned her great admiration from far and wide. The admiration was evident as guests gathered to celebrate her 70th birthday.
This is the time to give God glory for giving her the opportunity to attain 70 years and more to come.
More grace, longevity. We are hoping that in no distant time we come to celebrate her at 90.
Dennis Abu, Dr. Okafor's younger brother, shared heartfelt stories about her unwavering support for her siblings, particularly after their parents passed away during the war.
She's like a mother figure now after we lost our mother. So I wish God to just continue to bless her the way He has done all this while.
Dr. Okafor's philanthropic efforts have significantly affected her community. Emmanuel Abu highlighted her contributions, noting how she has supported over 600 men and women through various donations and grants aimed at helping indigent businesswomen.
She is the philanthropist. Personally, I supervised the installation of whiteboards because she recently visited her alma mater secondary school, Ungo Girls.
Her biological children expressed their joy and gratitude, joining in the festivities with great enthusiasm.
I am not the celebrant, I'm the celebrant's daughter. My mom is the most amazing person. Dr. Promise, hey, I call her mommy. I have the pleasure. You don't have the pressure. But I'm just so blessed. She's an amazing person. She's loved me from top to bottom. And I'm just so proud of her for God blessing her with 70 years. My mom looks like she's 25, but she's 70. And I just praise God for that. I pray for many more years to come. Mommy, I love you.
Hi, Mama. So I want to say happy birthday. Thank you so much for 40 years of being the greatest mom I could ever ask for. I know I would upset you because you didn't think I was coming. Surprise, I'm here. So we thank God for everything that He's done in your life because I'm only a recipient of your own blessings. So,
despite her parents not living to see such an age, Dr. Okafor joyfully attributed her longevity and accomplishment to God's blessings and her commitment to a healthy lifestyle. She was deeply moved by the outpouring of love and support from well-wishers.
I'm surprised, I'm amazed, I feel loved, I feel really cherished by many people. There are things that were said today that I don't even remember I did them. So it was very mind refreshing, So I'm really honored. And I'm glad I did this here, not in the States, Yeah.
The Abo family has a tradition of giving, deeply ingrained among the 8 children. This virtue of generosity continues to define their legacy. Chinemerem Ikebunam, Signature TV.
Residents of Enugu Metropolis have made a passionate appeal to the state government to resuscitate the city water project to ensure adequate water supply to members of the public. Signature TV correspondent David Okoro, who visited the streets of the coal city, says that water scarcity is general as all the taps are dry.
The role water plays in the society cannot be overemphasized, as it is central to man's domestic and industrial activities. Apart from drinking, cooking, and washing, water plays a significant role in human health development, such as transporting nutrients to cells, getting rid of waste materials, protecting joints, organs, and maintaining body temperature, among others. Recall that the Enugu State Governor, Peter Mba, had earlier promised to end water scarcity in the city within 180 days in office. The big question is whether the water galleries mounted at strategic places in the metropolis are functional so that people can fetch water for use in keeping with the governor's promise. The Director, Public Relations, Enugu State Water Corporation, Romanus Anike, in an exclusive interview with Signature TV in his office, attributed lack of water supply in the city to the vandalization of their water pipes. Anike spoke more on other factors responsible for the situation.
The governor is aware that some people cannot afford water now. That is why, for the interim, he decided to have water galleries. And these water galleries will serve the poor people within the area that cannot afford water connection now. But the problem we have is that these water galleries have been vandalized.
A cross-section of residents of the metropolis who volunteered answers appreciated the state government for what they call people-oriented projects, even though it is yet to materialize.
When he did it in Uli, it was rushing, working normal, but now it's no longer rushing. Even the day, sometimes he do rush like twice in a week.
The one he keep in our area, well, he's trying, but the tap is not rushing well. So I really want the government to come and see to it here because he's rushing like a piece, very tiny. He cannot use it. He cannot give you what you need.
Not every day. It seems it's rushed like 3 times or 4 times in a month.
The residents of the capital city hope that the state government will overwhelm the vandals to fulfill its promise to them. In Enugu, David Okoro for Signature TV News.
The Ebonyi State Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, has directed its members to immediately stop coverage of activities in Ezza North local government area of the state. The directive was contained in a communique signed by the Council's chairman, Comrade Samson Wafo, and the secretary, Comrade Nnamdi Abba, and issued after the State Council Congress held on Tuesday at the Samegu Press Center in Abakaliki. Recall that Sun newspaper reporter Uchenna Inya, Chinelo Okoro, and Godwin Oguta, both of FRCN, Unity FM, Abakaliki, were attacked at Nkomoro community in Ezza North local government area of Ebonyi State on Saturday, June 15, 2024, by suspected hoodlums during coverage of a coronation event in the area. The union condemned in strongest terms the attack on 3 of its members, describing it as crude, barbaric, and a clear attempt to intimidate, subdue, and force journalists into self-censorship. The union added that this attitude indicates that the attack was carefully and deliberately planned and executed by the entire community. The council stated that the ban on coverage is necessary pending when relevant authorities and stakeholders of the council area prevail on the people of Nkomoro community to adequately compensate the victims for their losses during the attack and tender an apology to them. The Anambra State government has sealed up a sand mining site at Onitsha, said to be threatening the River Niger Bridge and its environs. Governor Chukwuma Soludo, through the Anambra State Agency Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra, also known as OCHA Brigade, physically invaded the sand mining site at Onitsha, end of the river Niger, disrupting the illegal activities there and barricading the entire stretch against any form of sand excavation. The managing director of OCHA Brigade, Celestine Anere, expressed displeasure at the illegal dredging of sand from the site, which he said poses a great threat to the area and the entire state. Illegal sand mining activities contribute to over 60% of cases of erosion and landslides in parts of Anambra State. According to Anere, the enforcement operation in the area by his team was part of efforts to prevent the state from environmental and economic losses posed by tout and illegal miners. He said that the illegal operators failed to produce the environment impact assessment papers as well as other authorizing documents from the state government, pointing out that mining sand close to such strategic infrastructure like the River Niger Bridge needs to be done with expertise and caution. Rivers State Governor Similaye Fubara has sworn in new caretaker chairmen for the 23 local government areas of the state. The swearing-in was done on Wednesday at the Government House in Port Harcourt, the state capital, amid tight security. Taking off the oath of office and coming a day after he forwarded the list to the State House of Assembly led by factional Speaker Victor Jumbo. Governor Similaye Fubara of Rivers State has appointed caretaker committees for the 23 local government areas of the Rivers State as he continues his battle with his predecessor, Nyesom Wike, for the control of the political structure in the oil-rich state. The appointment came a day after the governor asked administrative heads to temporarily take charge of council areas from the outgoing elected officials whose tenures ended on Monday. Many of the outgoing elected officials were elected when former Governor Nyesom Wike was in office and are loyal to him. Reports say they have vowed to stay on in office, insisting that the State House of Assembly had extended their tenure by 6 months. The latest developments comes less than 12 hours after the police announced they were taking control of all council areas following the violence that caused the deaths of 2 people, including a police officer. Still to come on the news, South Africans seek transparency as Ramaphosa sworn in for a second term. Prince William steps in for absent King Charles at Royal Ascot. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Signature TV News. President Bola Tinubu-led government is set to send the first citizen to space. The Director General, National Space Research and Development Agency, Matthew Adepoju, who disclosed this on Wednesday, noted that it is the product of a memorandum of understanding entered by the federal government in collaboration with National Space Research and Development Agency and the Space Exploration and Research Agency. The DG said the collaboration marks a significant milestone in Nigeria's 25th anniversary of space exploration journey and opens new opportunities for scientific research and technological advancement. On the foreign scene, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has today taken the oath of office amidst joyous crowds at the Union Buildings in Pretoria. Reflecting the nation's hopes for Ramaphosa's tenure, Chief Apostle Khumalo of the Amatugwa Royal Kingdom called for transparency and honesty among politicians. Ramaphosa's African National Congress will be sharing power with the 5 other parties after it was humbled in the May 29th election, losing its parliamentary majority for the first time in 30 years of democracy. The ANC remains the largest party after the election, followed by the Pro-Business Democratic Alliance, a strong critic of the ANC's record in office, which has nevertheless agreed to join the new government. And meanwhile, Chad's President Muhammad Idris Deby on Wednesday visited the site of a deadly ammunition depot explosion in the capital N'Djamena, saying the injured would receive state care as he called for future military storage sites to be located outside cities. The blast on Tuesday, June 18th night, triggered by a fire at the depot near N'Djamena's airport, killed at least 9 people and wounded over 46 others, health authorities say. Walking through the debris-strewn area, Deby said the situation was under control, but lessons must be learned. What happened yesterday should teach us a lesson about building armories in the middle of the city, he told reporters. This isn't the first time that ammunition shops have exploded. The explosion spent artillery shells raining down on nearby neighborhoods, shattering windows and punching holes in walls and roofs. Soldiers sighted through piles of mangled munitions boxes and charred bullet shells at the blast site. Deby said the state would take care of those wounded in the explosions, which lit up the night sky in the Central African nation's capital and sparked panic. A bipartisan group of U.S. lawmakers led by Republican Representative Michael McCaul has met the Dalai Lama in India on Wednesday and said they would not allow China to influence the choice of his successor in comments expected to anger Beijing, which calls the exiled Tibetan spiritual leader a separatist. The remarks comes as Washington and Beijing seek to steady rock ties while India pushes China to secure lasting peace on their disputed Himalayan frontier 4 years after a military clash strained ties. The lawmakers also signaled that Washington would pressure Beijing to hold talks with Tibetan leaders, stalled since 2010 to resolve the Tibet issue with a bill they said President Joe Biden would sign soon. Analysts say although Washington recognizes Tibet as a part of China, the bill appears to question that position, and any change would be a major shock to Beijing. French President Emmanuel Macron met Portuguese Prime Minister Luis Montenegro on Wednesday at the Élysée Presidential Palace in Paris to discuss the priorities of the European Union. The leaders were also set to talk about the situation in Ukraine and in Gaza, Montenegro told journalists. The meeting comes ahead of an EU Council meeting attended by both leaders on June 27 to 28. Britain's Prince William greeted racegoers at the Royal Ascot on Wednesday in the absence of his father, King Charles III. Williams and Queen Camilla towards the royal procession in horse-drawn carriage, closely followed by composer Andrew Lloyd Webber in a separate carriage. The king is taking a break before returning to Ascot for the final 3 days of action. The horse racing event was founded in 1711 by Queen Anne and was beloved by Charles' late mother, Queen Elizabeth II. And some sports updates. France forward Kylian Mbappe is on the road to recovery after breaking his nose, but will be badly missed if the injury impacts his appearances at the European Championship. His teammates told the news conference on Wednesday. Mbappe suffered the break against Austria in France's opening group game of the tournament, a hard-fought 1-0 victory. Arsenal centre-back William Saliba told reporters that he had seen Mbappe, who did not require surgery earlier, and the 25-year-old talisman was in good spirits. But midfielder Adrien Rabiot admitted that playing without him would be challenging. Meanwhile, Rabiot encouraged people in France to vote in upcoming elections, continuing a trend of French players speaking out on politics at the news conference. The 29-year-old also confirmed that he was still considering where to play next season. He is currently at Juventus, but would not make a decision until the Euros were over. And that's the news this hour. I'm Charles Pius. Thank you for watching. See you next time.